Florence, Alabama, a town where life moves slowly, where neighbors wave from their porches, and where the Tennessee River cuts through the land like a scar from another time. But inside the towering walls of the Florence Correctional Facility, time moves differently. Days blur into nights, the hum of fluorescent lights never fades, and for those locked behind the heavy steel doors, escape is only a dream. For the men incarcerated here, the rules are simple. Follow orders, keep your head down, and serve your time. For the officers, the expectations are even clearer. Maintain control, enforce the law, and never, under any circumstances, let the lines blur between right and wrong. But when one of their own stepped over that line, everything changed. An affair between a correctional officer and an inmate. Secret notes passed in the dead of night. Promises whispered through steel bars. What started as a forbidden connection turned into something far more dangerous, with a price that no one was prepared to pay. A desperate plan, a final betrayal, and an ending that would leave Florence, Alabama, reeling. What really happened inside those walls? What drove a respected officer to risk everything for a convicted criminal? And who, in the end, paid the ultimate price? Tonight, we uncover the truth. This is the story of a correctional officer, Rebecca Caldwell, and inmate Darius Holloway. A relationship that started as whispers through cell doors and ended in a pool of blood. Florence, Alabama, has seen its share of crime, but nothing quite like this. Inside these walls, the rules are clear. Officers enforce order, inmates obey. Two worlds, divided by bars, routine, and an unspoken understanding that some lines are never meant to be crossed. But when Officer Rebecca Caldwell allowed those lines to blur, the balance of power shifted. A secret affair, a trust is broken, and a deception so deep no one saw it unraveling until it was far too late. What started as forbidden love turned into a dangerous game of manipulation, lies, and ultimately murder. Was it passion? Was it controlled? Or was it something far more calculated? To understand the ending, we have to go back to the beginning. Inmate Darius Holloway arrived at the Florence Correctional Facility in 2020, sentenced to 4,968 years for 20. Like every new arrival, he was assigned a number, a cell, and a strict set of rules to follow. But Inmate's name was different. He wasn't just another face in a sea of orange jumpsuits. He had a way with words, a dangerous charm that made him stand out. And one officer, in particular, took notice. To some, he was a manipulator. To others, a survivor. He knew how to push boundaries without breaking them. Knew exactly what to say, when to say it, and who to say it to. In a place where control meant everything, he had a talent for making people feel like they were the ones in charge, even when they weren't. Officer Rebecca Caldwell had been working at the facility for years. She knew the rules, followed protocol, and never let emotions get in the way. But beneath the uniform was a person with secrets of her own. She was lonely, vulnerable, searching for something, or someone, to break the monotony. Maybe it started as a harmless conversation. Maybe it was nothing more than an escape from the long, thankless hours. But in a place where connections are forbidden, even the smallest ones become something more. The first mistake was thinking no one would notice. The second, I was thinking it could be controlled. A conversation turned into a friendship. A friendship turned into something neither of them could walk away from. And before long, there was no turning back. It started small, a glance held for a second too long, an extra carton of milk on a meal tray, a moment of conversation that should have never happened. In a place where every action is watched and every movement is recorded, These moments should have meant nothing. But in the silence of locked doors and endless routine, small things have a way of becoming something more. What began as stolen glances became something else. Small favors turned into secret exchanges, then whispers in empty hallways, late-night encounters in blind spots where security cameras couldn't reach. In Florence, Alabama, a city where everyone knows everyone, secrets don't stay secrets for long. And inside the walls of the Florence Correctional Facility, where trust is currency and betrayal is a matter of survival, whispers are more dangerous than weapons. Corrections officers are trained to spot manipulation. They know the tactics, the tricks, and the carefully crafted words designed to break down defenses. But what happens when the officer's the one being manipulated? Was it affection? Was it controlled? Or was it something much more dangerous? As their relationship intensified, so did their ambitions. Stolen moments weren't enough anymore. Hidden notes, lingering touches, whispered promises through steel bars. It wasn't enough. Darius Holloway wanted out, and he had a plan, but he needed Rebecca Caldwell to make it happen. An inmate's dream of freedom, an officer's willingness to risk it all. Was it love, devotion, or something far more calculated? No one knows exactly what was said that night, but what we do know is that after that conversation, everything changed. Was this a love story, a desperate act of loyalty, or was the officer just another pawn in a master manipulator's game? Whatever Rebecca Caldwell believed, it was already too late to turn back. On 2022, Florence, Alabama witnessed a crime that would shake the town to its core. It started with a single drop of blood, then another, a trail leading from the officer's break room to the back exit of the Florence Correctional Facility. A routine bed check turned into panic. An inmate was missing, an officer gone, and when authorities finally pieced it together, it was already too late. Officer Rebecca had helped Darius Holloway escape, a plan months in the making, executed in a single night. But somewhere along the way, something went horribly wrong. The reunion was brief, the argument was heated, and within hours the escape that began with whispers and stolen glances ended in bloodshed. But who was the real victim that night? By sunrise, the truth had unraveled. The manhunt was over. Darius Holloway was found dead. A single gunshot wound, a motel room stained with blood and betrayal. Handcuffed, silent. A story that began in secrecy had ended in tragedy. The officer who once held the keys to the prison now found herself locked behind bars. Florence, Alabama will never forget the scandal that rocked the town, the whispers, the accusations, the unanswered questions. Some say she was a victim, others say she knew exactly what she was doing. Love or manipulation, passion or control, justice or just another deadly obsession. What do you think? Was Rebecca Caldwell a willing accomplice or a pawn in a deadly game of manipulation? A desperate lover or a calculated criminal? The truth may never be fully known, but one thing is certain, someone paid the ultimate price. Tell us your thoughts in the comments below, because in cases like this, the truth is rarely as simple as it seems. If you're drawn to chilling true crime stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because sometimes the most terrifying stories aren't fiction.